What's going on, my exotic family? It's your boy Dre. Welcome back to another video here with my boy Zeus, and I wanted to give you guys kind of like a play-by-play on how I get my animals ready before I go somewhere. As you guys know, NARBC Tinley is coming up this week and I will be there, so I wanted to give you guys just a play-by-play on how I prepare Zeus and friends for me not being here, so stay tuned. All right, everybody, so welcome back to the video. So first thing that I do before I do anything else, I go through every single enclosure and I look at the animals. I don't touch them just yet, I just look at them. And that's something that I do every time I'm over here, every time I check on my snakes. Just kind of go through, peek in, see what they're doing, assess the situation, I guess, so to speak, and just kind of, you know, do a visual wellness check on the snakes. So after I do that, because, you know, I just want to basically, I don't know about you guys, but it bothers me when I wake up sometimes and I haven't put eyes on my snakes yet. So I have to, and it's not just my snakes, my lizards as well. I have to, phone calls, okay. I have to put eyes on them to kind of just make sure we don't have any issues, because when you have so many snakes, you do run into some issues. But once I do that, I go get everything that I need ready. So I have a 5-gallon bucket. I'll put fresh water in it. Well, before I even do that, I'm getting ahead of the curve. I'll go make bleach water in one of the 5-gallon buckets, because when I come back, I take out all of the water bowls out of every single enclosure, pour out all of the old water, and then put all of the water bowls in that bleach water to let them soak, to get off any type of debris, any type of residue, any poop, urates, whatever the case may be. I want it off. You guys know some of these snakes get messy and they'll pee and poop in their water. They're snakes. So I pull out all of the water, put them in bleach water, and I do the same thing with the hides. Now the hides, I don't do the same thing, I'm lying. The hides I don't put in bleach water. I simply, since they're plastic, I simply pull them all out, stack them all together, and I kind of just put them somewhere off to the side until later, and I'll explain what I do with them later on in the video. Once I remove everything from the hides, from the tubs, the enclosures in general, I'll go through and I'll start with my first snake. I go through my snakes one by one. Depending on the size of the snake, they go into a holding bin for their size. So if I'm starting with the IMG, the king snake, or the arabesque boa, either of those three, they're still very small. They go into one of the little small critter keepers. It's big. They go into a critter keeper and it's just fairly sized, but what I do is I'll fill it with like this much water, lukewarm water, for them to soak, for them to drink, for them to pass a poop, for whatever they need to do. But I do try to hydrate my animals at least once a month through soaking. So while they're in there is when I do my heavy cleaning. So I'll grab my big trash can here, and this is where you guys see me put on those handy dandy gloves. I put my gloves on and I am going through with a dustpan, or even my hands if I'm spot cleaning, pull out any urates, any poops, or anything that's in there that should not be in there. So I pull out anything that should not be in there. Now, depending on what snake we're talking about and when I'm supposed to do a bedding change, I may just go ahead and just pull out all of the bedding, bleach it down, scrub it really good, wipe it down, dry it, give it one more once over with the bleach, scrub it down again, and then wipe it back down. And I usually do that for the carpet, you know, the snakes in the bigger rack, because they make more of a mess. The smaller snakes don't really utilize the entire tub, so I'll usually just spot clean them, but I still do change their bedding about once a month. The bigger snakes, a little more often than that, more than likely I'll do bedding changes once every other month. The bigger snakes I do about once a month, simply because they make more of a mess. Okay, so work with me here, trying to get away. So yeah, so for the smaller snakes, yes, I'll spot clean, do whatever I need to do. Bigger snakes, I'll go through and pull out all of the bedding and just bleach it down, scrub it down really good. Once I do that, and this is a long process for me, because like I said, I have 16 snakes, And it's not just like I'm hitting step by step by step. There's like time in between these steps. So I'll put the snake into their tub. Cool. I'll pull out all of the bedding, scrub it down, bleach it down, do what I need to do. But I still give it some time to dry, as well as that way I'm giving the snake some adamant time to soak in whatever it needs to do in this tub. Because having my snakes for as long as I've had them, I kind of know them, and I know which snakes are going to poop in the water and which snakes won't. But I still give them the opportunity just to kind of help them, because not all of my snakes I have soak in their water bowl, so I still kind of make sure that they have it. And again, this isn't a lot of water. This is like this much water. But after it's dry and I don't have like a strong smell of bleach or anything like that, I put the fresh layer of bedding in there, smooth it out really good, kind of get everything to where I want it. And then I put the snake back in there. I put the snake back in there, no hide, no water bowl, because we're not done. I got to move on to the next snake. And I will complete that process until I'm done with each snake. So once I'm done with each snake, once I've taken them out, let them soak in the tub, and that's even for Luther. I got a tub big enough for Luther, my big boa. I got a tub big enough for him where he can soak in as well while I'm cleaning his enclosure. Now his enclosure takes some work because it opens from the top, which I fucking hate. And I can't wait to get him upgraded. And I actually have to use a shop vac for him, just because, like I said, it opens from the top. I got short arms and I can't get to every corner, so I shop vac it all out. And I actually use like a little dollar store, little scrub brush to get in the corner on the far side and with bleach water and scrub it real good. Because with him being a big snake, after I spray down, sometimes the bedding will just kind of, sit in there on the bottom, and it makes like these little stains, and I hate it. So I get in there and I scrub really, really good. And then I can go in there with like we have like a little Swiffer. I can take off the detachment and add like some paper towels and dry it really good, absorb all that, whatever, bleach water. And then again, I let it air dry before putting any bedding back in there, and then I also put Luther back in there. Same thing with the arboreal snakes. With them it's a little different because they're on perches. So I remove their perches, scrub their perches with some bleach water and everything, just really going through disinfecting everything. Because who wants to come back to some disgusting cages? I mean, nobody wants disgusting cages anyway, if you're doing what you're supposed to do. But when you come back and you check on your snakes, you want to see everybody living their best life, thriving in their enclosures. So that's what I like to do. I like to try to, prevent any and everything from happening. So I do all the work beforehand, and even when I come back, I know there's still going to be some work to be done. But I don't want to come back here and I'm full-blown cleaning cages, or cages look crazy, or there's poop caked. No, that should never happen. Now, once I go through and do all of that, that is when I'll check on the water bowls, give them a little scrub down. After I scrub them, I'll change out that bleach water. I'll rinse off the water bowls one by one, like physically rinse them off. But they still got kind of like this like slimy grit. So once I scrub them off, I'll put them in a fresh bucket with just regular water in it. And I'll put a little water conditioner in there to dechlorinize them so they don't have that bleachy smell to them, because I don't want to give my snakes bleachy water bowls. So again, this is a long process, but it's a must to keep my animals healthy. So I sit them in this bucket of dechlorinated water. Forget about it for a minute. That's when I come over. That's when I start scrubbing the hides. Scrub the hides really good. I go through again one by one. I use the plastic PVC, the plastic hides you can get from Animal Plastics or pretty much anywhere at this point. The all black ones with a little hole. All of my snakes have one of those. So I'll go through, scrub all of one of those, because the snakes will rub on those when they shed. So sometimes there'll be like pieces of dry shed on there, or if you're the rat snake, Q-Bird, he poops on top of it every time. So I try to, go through with my brush, scrub it real good, bleach water again, and then I do rinse those off, dry them off, and then I let those air dry. Now, only once those are air dry is when I start putting everything back together. I put the water bowls in last because while the hides are air drying, I go back, check on the bowls, and I pour the dechlorinated water out, and then I'll hand dry them with a paper towel, lay them all out, and let them dry again. And I'll do like 5 minutes upside down, and then 5 to 10 minutes right side up, and again, just let them kind of air out, because I don't want to put any bowls or anything back and it has a bleachy smell. And this process has worked for me. I've never had any issues, and I'm sure somebody's gonna say, well, you should try this. Listen, if it's working, I don't have any issues with it. While those are drying, that's when I start putting the hides back. Once I get all the hides back, I'll double check the bowls one more time, and then that's when I put them all back, and then everybody gets fresh water. And that is it. That is my process. It's very tedious, but I mean, you throw on some music, you got some comfortable shoes, it's not a problem. I can be in here cleaning for hours. So I wish I would have thought to record what I was doing when I was doing it, but I didn't think about it. So I wanted to still do this video for you guys because I do get the question, what happens when you go out of town? And I'm gonna be gone for 4 days. So, but there will be someone that's actually here that can actually check on them while I'm gone as well. So I'm not too concerned about it, but there has been times where I'm gone for like, 2 or 3 days. So I have to do all of this, make sure everybody is fed, which they get fed tomorrow. So by the time you guys see this video, will be Monday. So they'll be already fed by the time this video is out. But yeah, there's been times where I've actually, done all my maintenance before I went out of town and made sure that they were good before I left, and I come back and everybody's doing good. In addition, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this guy right here, this is how I can keep track of my animals, this little camera up here. So when I'm not home, I don't live far from here anyway, but when I'm not home, like if I'm out of town or something, I can check on them and have peace of mind and make sure that everybody is good and in their enclosure, because nobody wants a loose snake, especially not in this facility. There's way too much going on. Having a loose snake in your house is one thing, but in a public place, that's not something I want. So that's it. That's my process. Kind of long-winded, I know. But again, when you're dealing with so many different snakes, and some of these snakes are not small, it's going to take some time. So drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Hope it was helpful. I don't know. Hope it shines some light on, how I do things here. Maybe next time I'll go through and record it. I know I've done videos on it before, but I mean, they were so long ago. But hit that like button if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you love this video. Follow me on Instagram at DWExotics, and as always, stay exotic.